Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today is October 5, 2025. It's Sunday. So, we had started last Sunday, to have our motivational and educational series. So, even though I'm not feeling well, but I'm trying my best to, not just to contact my partner, our guest today, but at the same time I would like to say thank you so much for everything, to our Almighty God, for all the trials, the blessings, and the gift of life, above all for the knowledge and wisdom. Even how hard the situation we have right now, I know He's there for us. So, sa ating mga kapatid, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, magandang umaga at nawa po sa pagpapatuloy ng ating series ng ating educational and motivational program. Ako Lupos na nagpapasalamat sa inyong lahat, sa inyong suporta para sa misyon, para sa ating mahal na Reyna, para sa ating hari at sa ating mahal na presidente. Nakakalungkot kung minsan kung kailan nasa dulo tayo, kung sa labanan doon pa tayo nanlulumo o nawawalan ng pag-asa. Mga kapatid, this is a wake up call, because we are at the transition for the full implementation. Hindi na po ito biro ang ginagalawan natin. Nakikita na po natin lahat ng mga pangyayari, hindi lang sa atin, kundi sa buong mundo. Napaka-terrible po. Pero, hindi pa rin naintindihan at naunawaan ng mga tao. This is the time to go back to God, to Allah. At sa lahat ng ating mga kapatid na mga Islam at mga sultan, tinatawagan ko kayo na magkaisa. Lalong-lalo na ang mga leaders, tulungan ang bawat isa. The Court of Sharia, as I said, hindi ito basta-basta. When Apo and I, nung nag-usap kami, ang sabi niya, everything will be back to the Islamic principle. A reason why we are calling you all, not only the Sultan, the Sultanate, but all our Islam brother and sister who have the knowledge, who have the heart, especially an intent to help for the full implementation of this divine, of this godly program. Tulungan po natin dahil hindi po ito biro. Nakakalungkot, pero gawin po natin ang nararapat. As I said, kung kailan nasa dulo, yun ang pinakamahirap. Pero taos puso po akong nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng tumulong, sumuporta, at nagtiwala sa misyon. Pinapangako po na kahit anong mangyari, gagawin natin ang nararapat, dahil yan ay tama at dapat para sa ating mga kababayan at sa sanlibutan. All we need is a courage, not to silence, but to act. Dahil panahon na po, dahil ang lahat ng bakas na iniwan ng mga nauna sa atin, all the messy, lahat ng mga kalukuhan, lahat ng mga ginawa nila, inaayos natin. Not only for the IDs, the records, everything. Kaya nga, I want to congratulate our team for the mission accomplished last night. So, since last Tuesday, tapos ang mission. So, we have the mission order at yan ay hindi alam. We are silently moving everything. Kaya yan, ang katotohanan, kahit masama ang pakiramdam, kahit nga nahihirapan, but still, we have the courage and strength to go and pursue our vision and mission, to educate and motivate and to reach all our brother and sister, especially yung hindi pa lubos na nakakaunawa. Ang programa ng Dipino Gobyerno ay isang sagrado, hindi to basta-basta. Kaya sa lahat ng mga haters, lahat ng mananinira, lahat ng mga bigay ng pasakit, maraming salamat po. Dahil doon, nakikita namin kung gaano kami katatag. Kahit baliktarin niyo pa ang lahat ng mga pananalita, ang katotohanan ay lalabas at lalabas. Yan ay hindi may tatago at hindi mapipigilan, ang liwanag ay lalabas. Kaya mga kapatid, huwag po kayong mawalan ng pag-asa. Kasi nga, kung may araw, kung may gabi, may araw. So, ang sikat ng araw ay malapit na nating makamit. Justice for everyone. We are not here to impress you, but we are here to motivate and guide you, especially to enlighten your mind para maintindihan kung ano ang programa ng Diyos para sa sanlibutan. Justice for all. So, as I said, may kasama ako sa matagal ng online educational and motivational. Hindi man lang kami ngayon makapag-live kasi nga even my Facebook account is restricted. But even masama yung pakiramdam ko, I'm trying my best to host and impart some knowledge, some ideas. What is the divine monarchy? What is our responsibility? Bakit kinakailangan natin na pagdaanan ang lahat na to? To be honest, for 3 days flat on bed. But thanks God. Why? I gain more power. I gain more strength. Not only to come out into the open, but to push through what is our vision and mission. Dahil nasa dulo na po tayo. We are not just talking for the shutdown. We are preparing for the full implementation. This is not the way so-called the transition. Implementasyon na po ang pinag-uusapan. Kaya, be ready. Kasi nga, ang sinabi ni Apo Lakay noon, mauuna silang mag-shutdown. So, what does it mean? Sunod-sunod na yan. So, hindi po tayo nagkulang, pero marami rin ang nagtatanong, bakit kailangan natin mag-shutdown? Isa yan na kumbaga nga, pag-uusapan natin sa araw na ito. Kaya bago ang lahat, ako'y taos pusong nagpapasalamat sa inyo at nawa, patuloy po kayong makinig sa ating mga kunting pahayag. Bakit kinakailangan po natin hindi lang magkaisa, hindi lang maghanda, kundi magbago. Dahil ito ay programa ng Diyos, ng Allah. So, sa nakagawian na. Dati-dati, hinuhook ko lang diretso online kasi nga, kinakailangan natin, kumbaga nga, live kami dati. Pero ngayon, this is just a recorded video, but this is actual, kumbaga nga, our date is October 5, 2025. So, sa lahat po, maraming salamat sa lahat ng inyong tulong, sa lahat ng inyong mga pledges, lalong-lalo na po ang ating mga kapatid na walang sawa sa pagsuporta. I don't want to mention you all kasi alam ko sisiraan na naman kayo. Kung ano yung ginawa nila, hindi lang kay Queen, hindi lang kay Apo, hindi lang kay Ama Ali. Kinulam, sinaktan. Ganon din ang ginagawa nila sa akin at sa ating mga kapatid na mga loyalista at sumusuporta sa mission. Yan ang masakit na katotohanan. Pinapahiya sa social media. I don't want to mention you all, but you know kung gaano ang aking how grateful am I sa lahat ng iyong sakripisyo. Ganon din po ang mga tumulong, lalong-lalo na sa mission. So, thank you Sir Joe and Ma'am Esther sa inyong suporta. Dahil kung ano ang mga bakas ng mga nainiwan ng mga kasama natin, inaayos na po natin. Kaya nga, leaders and members, we still have time. I even include myself, we still have time to change. Hindi tayo perfecto, pero kailangan nating magbago dahil ito programa ng Diyos, ng Allah, at nawa maintindihan niyo dahil talagang mahigpit, dahil no second chance pag mag-implementa na po tayo. Kaya inaayos natin ang bawat dokumento. Queen, the demand letter, all the attachments was forwarded to our accounting department, finance department, to compute all the interest, accumulated interest, or from principal to the what you call that, interest, para makita po natin. Thank you so much for all the supporting documents that you have provided, Sir Joe. At saka Sir Jeffrey, huwag na po kayong mag-alala dahil talagang ganyan ang mga walang kwentang mga tao. Matatalino daw kuno, pero hindi ginagamit ang puso dahil lang sa pansariling interes, kapakanan, na akala nila sila na ang tama. Kaya nga those leaders, especially our Islamic leaders, please cooperate to make law so that we can implement a fair justice para sa mga nanakit. Hindi lang sa ating mahal na Rina, mahal na hari, kundi ang nagpabigat at nagpahirap sa atin. We must have to go back to the Islamic principle. This is not patalinuhan. We must have to go back to the basic principle of the Quran, of the Bible. Yan ang dapat nating intindihin dahil programa to ng Diyos, ng Allah. At lahat ng mga pasakit, we must have to endure and we must have to take as our strength, as our armor to face the battle. This is the battle of good and bad. The spiritual and physical war. Dahil ginagamitan tayo ng mga black magic. But thank you so much for all the pain, for all lahat ng mapasakit na ginawa nyo. Pinapasalamatan ko pa rin kayo. Dahil doon, nagiging buo kami. Kahit anong gawa nyo, paninira, hindi lang puri dangal, pati na ang aming physical through your black magic. But we are still here. As I said, hindi nyo kami madaday. We are fighting. So leaders and members, this is our fight. Today, I'm going to call my friend. I know he's waiting because actually this is my first time that I wasn't able to, to go on time, because when we said 8 o'clock, it's sharp, but since of a lot of inconveniences, pasensya na bunso, pero as I said, tatawagan kita. So I'm calling my friend. Okay. Same as usual. Tatawag lang ako. Hello, Bonso. We are, kumbaga nga, this is recorded para at least, kumbaga nga, dahil alam mo na, I am restricted to go live. But, okay. So, before we are going to, I'm going to give you that time. I will fix my, the phone that I'm holding, because left and right po akong humahamak ngayon kasi nga wala akong stand. Pasensya na. Pero, okay. So, i-ano ko na lang tong, yan. So, Bunso, good morning.
Yes, good afternoon. Good day to everyone. First, allow me to extend my warmest greetings to President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., and to Queen Helen Abdurrahman, and to King Mamay Abdurrahman. It is with great respect and humility that I speak in your presence. Your names carry both history and vision. President Marcos Sr. as a figure whose era reshaped the nation, and Queen Helen and King Mamay Abdurrahman as leaders standing at the forefront of something much larger, the dawning of absolute divine monarchy. My message to you is one of both gratitude and recognition. Gratitude because you carry the weight of leadership that is not ordinary but transformative. Recognition because this path you are sitting is not for yourselves alone, but for generations who will walk under the mantle of a new order. What you hold is not just power, it is responsibility, the kind that shapes culture, identity, and the future itself. Now, on the topic of transition, moving into absolute divine monarchy is not simply about changing structures of governance. It is about resetting foundations. That is why shutdown is necessary, because old systems must pause, even collapse, before a new life can take root. A transition cannot happen if the noise of the past continues to drown out the call of the future. Shutdown is not weakness, it is discipline. It is the act of closing doors that no longer serve, so that people can walk freely into the next chapter without dragging chains behind them. In this transition, shutdown becomes purification. It clears away confusion, corruption, and the illusions of borrowed power. It allows us to see clearly what stands and what falls. And most importantly, it creates the silence needed to listen to divine purpose. Without shutdown, transition is only half done. With shutdown, transition becomes complete. This is the crucial stage we stand in, the space between endings and beginnings, where leadership is tested not by how it clings to what is old, but by how it builds what is eternal. The vision of absolute divine monarchy goes beyond crowns and titles. It's about the daily life of people. Transition means building a culture where trust is not a request, but a natural condition, where obedience is not born from fear but from deep respect, and where leadership is not questioned because it is pure in intent. This is not simply a political change, it's a moral and spiritual reset. Shutdown plays a direct role in this. When old systems of governance keep running, systems built on selfish ambition, manipulation, and division, they continue to feed doubt and corruption into the people. Shouting them down allows the people to detach from the habits of distrust and dependence and to begin relying on the new light of monarchy guided by divine authority. And for the people, this transition might feel uncomfortable at first. Shutdown often brings silence, stillness, and uncertainty. But in the last stillness, we are reminded that growth requires pruning and strength requires rest. Just as the body must sleep before it wakes stronger, a nation must pause before it rises renewed. Shutdown is the nation's rest, preparing it for its higher calling. Absolute divine monarchy cannot rise on unstable ground. That is why this process is not rushed. Transition requires both patience and courage. Patience to allow the foundations to be rebuilt, and courage to let go of attachments to what no longer serves. Leaders in these visions are not rulers for themselves, but stewards for a divine trust. They do not move on impulse, they move on principles. This is the heart of transition, from human-centered authority to God-centered stewardship, from chaos, from temporary structures to eternal ones. The shutdown, then it is not distraction. It is alignment. It closes human-made patterns so divine patterns can finally unfold. For a transition this profound, it cannot begin with the people alone. It must begin with the leaders. Shutdown is not only about systems, it is about hearts. Leaders must first undergo their own shutdown, shutting down pride, shutting down ego, shutting down the temptations of power that whisper self-interest instead of service. Only then can the throne be pure enough to hold absolute divine monarchy. Queen Helen and King Mamay Abdul-Rajak, your mission is not to command with force but to guide with vision. The shutdown within you, your willingness to silence distractions, your discipline to cut away worldly temptations is what sets the standards for the nation. When leaders leave the shutdown, the people will trust the process of transition because they see consistency between words and actions. And every President Ferdinand Idril Marcos Sr., whose name still echoes through history, stand as a reminder of what happens when leadership carries both strength and weight. That history now becomes a lesson, a mirror for this monarchy. That authority must be anchored in the divine if it is to endure without collapse. The people will look for proof that this transition is real. That proof will not come from documents or decrees alone, but from the spirit of leaders. If leaders walk in purity, the people will follow in confidence. If leaders carry obedience to divine will, the people will learn to carry the same obedience in their daily lives. Shutdown, then, is also personal. It is a cleansing fire every leader must walk through, so that when the crown rests on their head, it shines with more than earthly power. It shines with eternal light. This is why the monarchy is absolute and divine, because its strength does not come from human willpower, but from divine alignment. And that alignment is only possible when the shutdown has stripped away everything false, leaving only what is true. When the shutdown clears away the noise of the old systems, the people begin to feel the change in their own lives. At first, it may feel like loss because the familiar patterns, even if flawed and suddenly gone. But as the silence deepens, clarity begins to grow. The people start to see that absolute divine monarchy is not about talking from them, but about restoring to them what was always theirs: dignity, respect, and trust in a leadership that truly serves. In this stage, the rule of the people is obedience with understanding. Not blind obedience, but an obedience that comes from recognizing truth. Shutdown removes the illusions that confuse the mind. It reveals the difference between corrupt promises and genuine vision. When the people see their leaders walking in purity, their hearts naturally align. Obedience is no longer heavy. It becomes a willing act, a reflection of loyalty to something higher than themselves. The people's transformation also comes through education. Shutdown is not only about pausing governance, it is about pausing destructive habits. Under divine monarchy, education is not limited to books. It is daily training in values, discipline, and unity. Children learn respect not as a rule but as a way of life. Communities learn trust not as a demand but as a bond. And nations learn justice not as a slow, as an unshakable foundation. Slowly, the people realized that shutdown was never restriction. It was about preparation. Just as fields are left fallow before planting new crops, the nation undergoes stillness so new life can grow. And when the people begin to bear fruit in character, loyalty, and service, then the vision of absolute divine monarchy is no longer just in the palace. It is alive in every home, every school, every street. Shutdown secures more than systems and leadership. It protects the soul of a nation. Culture is the heartbeat of people. And without renewal, even the strongest throne can crumble. Shutdown interrupts the cycle of corrupted influences, foreign pressures, selfish ideologies, divisive traditions that weakens unity. It silences the noise so that the true voice of the people, rooted in divine purpose, can rise again. A nation in transition must ask, what values will define us? If greed, jealousy, and dishonor remain, the monarchy will only wear a new name but carry the same old sickness. But if love, respect, and trust are restored, then the monarchy becomes not just a system of rule, but a way of life. Shutdown creates the pause where the culture is reborn, not a culture of imitation, but of identity, a culture aligned with destiny. Destiny itself depends on this pause. Without shutdown, a nation rushes forward carrying the weight of its past, unable to step into the fullness of its future. Shutdown cuts those chains. It draws a line that says, yesterday's failures stop here. From the silence, a new sound will rise, the anthem of divine monarchy, the song of a people who know who they are going. And so the destiny of this nation is not uncertain. It is written to stand as a light among nations, to show that governance can be pure, that leadership can be holy, and that people can live under authority with joy, not fear. Shutdown is simply the doorway to that destiny, a way that must be passed through with courage, faith, and unity. In this new order, daily life carries a different rhythm. People no longer wake with anxiety about corruption, injustice, or betrayal from leaders. Instead, they rise with a quiet confidence, knowing that those in power serve with purity, and that their obedience to authority is obedience to divine will. Trust is no longer something demanded, it is something natural. Work and livelihood flow in alignment with divine principles. There is dignity in labor because it is valued as service, not exploitation. Families grow in an atmosphere where children are taught not just skills, but virtues, love, respect, loyalty, and discipline. Communities are not fragmented by jealousy or division. Instead, they are bound by mutual responsibility, each one seeing themselves as a part of greater body under the monarchy. Even the smallest moments reflect the transformation. Neighbors look after each other not because they are forced, but because it is ingrained in their culture. Schools teach not only knowledge but also stewardship of the heart. Justice is no longer delayed or both, but swift and fair. The people began to understand monarchy is not about distance between rulers and ruled. It is about the closeness shared in one destiny. The crown becomes not a symbol of separation, but of unity. It is the reminder that divine order has replaced human chaos. The obedience no longer enslaves, but liberates. That loyalty no longer limits, but empowers. Daily life under absolute divine monarchy becomes a life of balance between duty and joy, discipline and freedom, silence and song. This is the fruit of shutdown. A people renewed, a culture restored, and a destiny secured. It is not the end of transition, but the beginning of permanence, where the monarchy stands not just a system of rule, but as a living reflection of divine order on earth. When shutdown is complete and daily life stabilizes under absolute divine monarchy, the next layer of transformation is how society organizes itself. Governance is no longer seen as a distant structure, but as a living organism, with the throne as its heart and the people as its body. Every decision, whether small or large, flows with the pulse of divine alignment. Economy, for instance, is purified. Wealth is no longer accumulated through corruption or exploitation, but through stewardship. Shutdown cleared the stage of systems that reward greed. So what rises is an economy based on fairness, responsibility, and service to the common good. Markets thrive not because of unchecked competition, but because they are guided by principles of justice. In this order, prosperity is shared, not by force, but by the natural fruits of obedience to divine principles. Law and justice, too, take on a new character. Shutdown removed the manipulation of courts and the purchase of verdicts. Under divine monarchy, the law is clear and incorruptible because it is rooted not in human preference but in eternal truth. People obey not out of fear of punishment but out of loyalty to what is right. The courts no longer echo with bribes and delays. Instead, they become sanctuaries of fairness, where the weak find protection and the guilty find correction. Even arts and culture flourish differently. Shutdown silenced the noise of shallow entertainment that distracted rather than uplifted. In its place, creativity now serves the higher calling of expressing divine beauty and purpose. Music, literature, and art no longer confuse the people with false values but inspire them to live nobly, to honor their monarchy, and to glorify their creator through their talents. And so society begins to shine not just in wealth or technology, but in character. Foreign nations look and wonder how a people can live in such harmony, how a government can stand without corruption, and how leaders can rule without fear. They see that the answer lies not in human genius, but in divine order, sealed through the discipline of shutdown and fulfilled in the crown of absolute divine monarchy. When a nation completes its shutdown and fully embraces absolute divine monarchy, it doesn't just change within its borders. It changes how other nations perceive and engage with it. In a world where governments rise and fall through corruption, politics, and manipulation, a monarchy rooted in divine alignments stands out as immovable, unshaken by trends or outside pressure. Diplomacy shifts in tone. Other nations may first respond with doubt, even resistance, because they are used to systems where negotiations means compromise, and compromise often means surrendering principles. But absolute divine monarchy cannot be negotiated into corruption. Its loyalty is to divine law, not foreign approval. Shutdown ensured that the old ways of bending to outside powers were cut away. Now, every interaction is guided by strength, clarity, and dignity. Economically, this system creates stability that others will eventually seek, where global markets are shaken by greed and speculation. A monarchy aligned with divine stewardship offers consistency. Resources are managed not for personal gain, but for the welfare of the people, making a nation a trustworthy partner in trade and alliance. Shutdown cleared out the old networks of exploitation, and what remains is an economy that others nations know they can rely on. Culturally, the nation becomes a model. As other witness is society flourishing in peace, order, and unity, curiosity grows. They begin to ask, how did this happen? What system can produce such discipline without oppression, such loyalty without fear? The answer points back to the monarchy, to the vision that demanded shutdown as a necessary sacrifice for rebirth. And over time, this light cannot be ignored. The nation example becomes its influence without forcing itself into others. It attracts them, showing that true sovereignty is not isolation but leadership by example. Shutdown made room for that nation to rise without compromise, and divine monarchy ensures it shines without fading. Shutdown is not only for the present moment, it is the foundation for continuity. Without it, even the strongest throne will eventually crumble under the weight of compromise. Shutdown ensures that the impurities of one age do not spill into the next. It resets the stage so that each generation inherits clarity instead of confusion, order instead of chaos. An absolute divine monarchy legacy is more than lineage. It is the transmission of values, the guarding of principles, and the preservation of divine alignment. A crown can be passed down physically, but if the heart of monarchy is corrupted, the next ruler inherits only a symbol, not the spirit. Shutdown protects against that by demanding purification before power is given. It is not merely succession, it is consecration. Children grow up not simply as heirs of bloodline, but as heirs of responsibility. From an early age, they are taught that the crown they may one day carry is heavy not because of gold, but because of trust. Shutdown engraves this truth into this culture so that no child of the monarchy mistakes rulership for privilege. Instead, they see it as a sacred trust passed like a flame from one generation to the next. The people, too, become part of this legacy. They no longer think of loyalty as something temporary or situational. Their obedience is not just to a leader of today, but to the eternal order that monarchy represents. Shutdown trains themselves to value continuity, to see their service as part of unbroken chain, reaching from ancestors to descendants. Thus, the monarchy is secured across time, not as a fragile system that fears rebellion or collapse, but as a living covenant renewed in each generation. Shutdown was the painful beginning, but it becomes the safeguard of tomorrow, ensuring that no matter how the world shifts, the throne remains unshaken, the culture remains pure, and the destiny remains alive. Shutdown is not an end, but a threshold. It secures leadership, it purifies culture, it strengthens society, it defines our place among nations, and it preserves the legacy of generations. Every layer we have walked through shows that shutdown is not emptiness. It is a preparation, a silence before the anthem, a pruning before the bloom. And for President Ferdinand Adrian Marcos Sr., Queen Helen Abdurrahman, and King Mamay Abdurrahman, this truth carries weight. You do not simply hold authority, you carry destiny. The monarchy is not just about ruling, it is about aligning with eternal order so that what you build today endures tomorrow. Shutdown remind us that before power can stand, it must kneel to the divine. And for the people, this journey is a call to patience and faith, to trust the silence, to endure the pruning, and to hold firm until the crown shines in fullness. Shutdown is the discipline of a nation that refuses to repeat its failures, choosing instead to walk boldly into its divine destiny. Thank you, Ate.
Thank you so much, Bunso, for the nice message. So, Bunso, pasensya na talaga ha, kasi talagang masama yung pakiramdam ko, pero nagpapasalamat ako sa panahon na ginugol mo at sa magagandang, kumbaga, how you impart your knowledge about the shutdown. So I'm looking forward to what we call that, to have a series of discussion like this. Pero pagpasensyahan mo na talagang ngayon talagang iba yung pakiramdam ko, but I'm trying my best. So congratulations sa lahat ng effort mo at kumbaga nga alam ko na hindi lang marami pa tayong dapat gawin at sana may panahon pa tayo dahil alam ko nalalapit na ang shutdown. So alam naman natin lahat na kumbaga nga hindi ito mapipigilan at hindi ito kumbaga nga walang makakahadlang dahil ito ang programa ng Diyos. Pagpasensyahan mo talaga ako, Bunso, kasi talagang I really want to what we call that discuss more, especially that you tackle about the shutdown, but I know some of our friends, especially Sir Anthony Bangkisi in Ghana, and even in what we call that in Nigeria, Sir Shukwadi Amarin, they're always calling us, they're asking us what will happen next. So do you have I'm not going to what we call that to give you more masakit ng ulo, but your parting words, not only our members here in the Philippines, our potential leaders, but our potential global partners and leaders around the globe.
Yes, Ate. It's all right to get well soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Shutdown was never a distraction. It was a refinement, a painful but holy silence that allowed leaders to cleanse their intent, people to reset their loyalty, and the nation to reclaim its destiny. From that silence rose a monarchy, unlike any system the world has known, not built on compromise, but consecrated by divine order. President Ferdinand Adrian Marcos Sr. stands as a reminder of history's weight, that authority without divine alignment falters. And Queen Helen Abdurrahman and King Mamay Abdurrahman now stands as living proof of renewal, that leadership purified through shutdown can shine with eternal light. You do not hold crowns of gold alone. You hold the trust of heaven and the future of a nation. And for the people, shutdown was both discipline and promise. Discipline because it's demanded surrender of old ways. Promise because it's opened the doors to a life of dignity, order, and peace. Under absolute divine monarchy, loyalty is not slavery. It is harmony. Obedience is not weakness. It is strength shared between ruler and people, all under the divine master. And this is the destiny. And the nation that rises not for itself alone, but as a light among nations, a model of what governance looks like when aligned with heaven. A people secure in their culture, leaders secure in their mantle, and generations secure in their inheritance. Shutdown was the doorway, but the future is the crown. So let it be declared the absolute divine monarchy is not an idea, it is the new order. It is the eternal covenant between ruler, people, and divine master. It is the fulfillment of Shutdown's purpose and the beginning of destiny's reign. Thank you, Ate.
Thank you so much, Bonso. Okay. So, it is clear enough that it is not for our, what you call that, for our own sake, but for the sake of humanity, because this is the ultimate God's program. A reason why we must have to transform not only physical but spiritually, the love, respect, and trust that we are discussing so far. Not we must have to humble down our pride as a leaders, as a members. We must have the, what we call that, a heart, a humble heart, at the same time obedience, unlock understanding. So thank you so much, Bonso, for all the, what we call that, the very nice topic, what we call that, nice time to have you here. So Bonso, parting words, meron pa ba? Wala na.
Wala na po.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bonso. So, hope to see you next time. Again, wag kang magsawa dahil alam ko, marami pa tayong gagawin dahil umpisa pa lang ito.
Yes, Ate. Yes, Ate.
Okay, thank you so much, Bonso. So, narinig niyo po si Bonso. So, hindi ko man pinapakita, cellphone lang pinapakita ko dahil nga, alam ko, marami ang nagtatanong, but it's not yet the right time that you see him. Kasi talagang iniingatan namin ang bawat isa. Iniingatan natin ang ating mga kapatid. Kaya nga, since we are in a transition for the implementation. So, ito Bunso, maraming salamat sa panahon. So, until next time Bunso. God bless.
God bless, Ate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So narinig po natin ang kumbaga nga si Bunso. I call him Bunso because that is our, what we call that, pit name. Pasensya na kung ganun talaga kami tawagan, Ate at Bunso. Because in our, what we call that, sa mga ginagawa namin noon, we are brothers and sisters. We are all equal. And as I said, when we use our hidden gift for the glory of God, He will use us. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, purity of intent. We need the purity of heart to serve the people, not for our own sake, but for the sake of humanity. Many times, sinasabi ko na talagang ang hirap ipaintindi. Yeah, sometimes we say, teach what you preach. Madaling magsalita, mahirap gawin. Kaya nga, I even include myself. I even say, tayo, no exemption. Kaya nga, leaders and members, nakikiusap po ako. Hindi huli ang lahat. Even though here in National Office, we are trying our best to fix everything. Not only the records, lahat-lahat inaayos natin. Even sa mga, kumbaga nga, yung mga orders, mga instructions. So, I hope maintindihan po ng lahat. Marami po tayong kakulangan. Excuse me. Marami tayong kakulangan, hindi man tayo perfecto, pero ginagawa natin ang lahat, ang nararapat, dahil yan ay dapat. Dahil sa sinabi ko na ito ay mission. At now, maintindihan ng bawat isa. Isa puso at isipan po natin at gawa ang pagkakaisa. This is not a competition. Hindi ito pera-pera. Hindi ito pagalingan. Hindi ito sinasabing matagal na ako sa misyon. Dahil ang sinabi na Apulakay, walang kapatid, walang anak, walang kamag-anak, at walang kakilala. Implementation. Stricto. And I thank you so much, Tatang. Dahil nabuhayan ako. Dahil marami ang pasaway. Yan ang talagang iniyak ko sa iyo. A reason why I asked you, what are the implementing guidelines? Kasi talagang napakahirap ang sitwasyon. Napakarami ang ayaw maniwala. Napakarami ang kasama daw kuno na hanggang pera lang. Leadership by example. Leaders and members, we must have a heart to serve. Kung nakita nyo lang ang sitwasyon ng ating mahal na Reyna, ang hirap niya. Ginagawa niya, sinasalo niya ang mga problema ng bawat isa. Pero ginagamit ang pangalan, ginagamit ang programa niya para magkapera. Ang hirap ng sitwasyon niya, Apulakay, na lahat inaayos. Hindi lang ang kapakanan ng sambayanan, kundi ang lahat sa buong mundo. Dahil nakasalalay sa atin ang pagtunay na pagbabago. Kung hindi tayo manindigan, sino pa ba? Kaya nga sabi ko, even if I'm not feeling well, I'm trying my best. Why? We must be a leaders by example. Kaya natin to lahat. Magtulungan, magkaisa. Hindi ito pataasan ng pasensya ko, masakit akong magsalita talaga. Dahil yan ang katotohanan. Dahil sa implementasyon, no second chance. Buti pa sa ngayon, pinagbibigyan pa tayo. Pinagbibigyan pa tayo. I even include myself because I am not perfect. Kaya sa lahat, now this is a wake up call. Leaders and members, those aspirant, lalong-lalo na, they are claiming they are the one. Sila yung nauna. Sila yung matinawag daw. Kono. You must have the heart to serve the people. Not for your own personal interests. Naawa ako sa ating mahal na Reyna. A reason why. The mission accomplished in Palawan, Puerto Princesa. We are clearing everything. Not only the records in financial, but all the transaction and all the hidden agendas. Maybe isang araw andyan na rin sa inyo. Kaya as I said, leaders, prepare your reports. Prepare all your records. Because we are doing this. Because we are at the pre-implementation. Dahil bago man mag-shutdown, naayos namin ang lahat ng mga gusot. Kaya, ang mga kapatid natin, lalong-lalo na, ang gumagamit sa pangalan ng ating mahal na Reyna at mahal na Hari, tantanan nyo na. tantanan nyo na rin ang paninira sa social media dahil bilang na ang araw ninyo. Akala nyo siguro tahimik lang kami. Akala nyo siguro namumuhay kami ng marangya. Ginagawa namin to para sa kapakanan ng lahat. Pasensya. Pero yan ang katotohanan. We need to be strong for the full implementation. Dahil kung walang magsasalita at walang magsasabi, lakas ng loob na magsalita para ipamukha at iparinig sa inyo, tayong lahat may kakulangan sa misyon na to. Dahil lahat iniisip ang sariling kapakanan. Dahil pinag-uusapan na ang pira sa kalang na kikilos. Hindi nyo nakikita ang sakripisyo ng ating mahal na reyna at mahal na. Ganon din ang sakripisyo ni Apolacay. Ulan, init, bagyo, lindol, lahat. Sa ilang dekada. Kaya nga, pagpasensya nyo. Kung masakit akong magsalita kasi hindi nyo nakita at hindi nyo naramdaman kung anong hirap ng bawat isa. Ang iba, umaasa lang. At ang iba, nagpapakasasa sa pirang hindi sa kanila. Yan ang masakit na katotohanan. Huwag nyong antayin na huli ang lahat. Kaya kami, ginagawa namin ang lahat. Kahit anong pangkukulam, panglalait at paninira nyo sa amin. Yan ang katotohanan. Pero hindi kami uurong dahil ito ay laban ng katotohanan. At yan ang dapat nyong tandaan. Masakit sa masakit. Pero ito ang dapat nyong malaman. Dahil nasa huli ang pagsisisi. The Court of Sharia must be strictly implemented. No second chance. Pinagbigyan kayo ng maraming pagkakataon, maraming pieces para magbago. Pero this is the time, as I said, may kahilingan lang ako. Lahat ng masasama. May patutunguhan. May patutunguhan. Ang lahat na nagpahirap at nagpasakit. At lalong-lalo na hindi lang sa amin, kundi sa sanlibutan. Dahil matagal na sana tayong kumbaga nga, maunlad. Hindi na tayo naghihirap ng ganito. Wala nang namamatay sa sakit, namamatay sa gutom, naghihirap. Pero sa gahaman at sa mga sinasabi natin, position, power, that is the creed of power. Makasarili. Kaya leaders, a time to change now. Don't expect too much na matagal na tayo sa mission. Dahil dito puso ang pinag-uusapan. Hindi sa pera, hindi sa katagalan ng panahon. Kinakailangan natin. We must have the time pag-isipan ang lahat. Are we worthy enough? Are we as leader by example o as servant leader? Baka pagdating ng panahon, tayo yung pagsisilbihan. Marami ang mga kasama natin pinagsilbihan. They take advantage. They take for granted everything. Nakabaitan ng mga royal families. It is not a revenge. But when the Avengers stand, justice must prevail. Remember that. Lahat ng sakripisyo, lahat ng sakit, lahat ay tiniis ng bawat isa. Nakakalungkot isipin. Dahil naghihirap tayong lahat. Pero huwag kayong mawalan ng pag-asa. Members and leaders, those who are loyal with the Queen and King, please continue to pray. Strengthen your faith. This is the time. This is our fight. Truth must prevail. We need to unite. We need the LRT, the love, respect, and trust. But first of all, we must have to humble down ourselves. We must have to accept that we are not perfect. We must have to submit ourselves. In the absolute divine monarchy. Kaya may panahon pa. Hindi ito panlilinis. Hindi rin to pagbubuhat ng sariling bangko. Lahat tayo may mga pagkukulang, may pagkakamali, pero kailangan nating magbago. Dahil programa to ng Diyos ng Allah. At sa lahat ng nanakit sa ating mahal na reyna, mahal na hari, kay Apo Lakay, kay Ama Ali, salamat. Bakit ko kayo pinapasalamatan? Dahil you make us stronger. Because we survive. Nakikita nyo kami lumalaban ng patas. Dahil ito ay programa ng Diyos. Marami pa rin ang hindi nakakaintindi. Marami. They're doing for their own sake. Marami pa rin ang hindi nakakaunawa na ang programa ng Diyos, ng Allah. Because ginagamit daw nila ang katalinuhan. No. God uses ordinary people to be an extraordinary. Hindi to pagalingan. Dito, puso ang tinitingnan. Yan ang intindihin nyo. Hindi rin to pira-pira dahil kung pira lang ang pag-uusapan, hindi na kami magsasakripisyo ng ganito. This is a test of the purity of intent. This is the test of loyalty. This is a test of obedience. A test for us to pass if we are worthy enough for the full implementation. Nakakalungkot dahil marami ang hindi nakakaintindi. Marami ang matataas sobra ang mga pride na hindi ma-accept kung ano ang programa. Dahil nga, nakapagserbisyo lang, nakapagbigay lang ng konti, kuno. Akala mo kung sino. Hindi yan ang pinagbabasihan. Yan ang masakit na katotohanan na dapat nating maintindihan at malaman. Dahil sa ngayon, whether we like it or not, shutdown is imminent. Ang sinabi ni Tatang, unahin sila. A reason why. Kahit masama ang pakiramdam, masakit sa dibdib. Pero, naninindigan pa rin kami. Ginagawa pa rin namin ang tama.
para ayusin ang lahat. Lahat ng gusot ng ginawa, mula kay pilota hanggang kina Saddam. Mahiya kayo. Pinagkatiwalaan kayo. Janet, lahat kayo, mga Clemens. Lahat daw ng mga leaders. Lahat daw ng tumulong. OFW. Flory, gumawa ka pa ng maraming eksena. Dahil that is against you. That is an evidence. Substantial evidence. It is not just a deportation. Kung may paglalagyan ka pa sa mundo, kasabwat mo ang lahat ng Clemens, lahat, pati si kapitong angkan mo. Yan ang katotohanan. Kaya nga, ako nasasaktan dahil marami ang hindi nakakaintindi. Dahil nga inisip nila, sila ang mas may kapangyarihan. Dahil sila ang nauna. Dahil sila maraming naibigay. Hindi yan. Dahil nga, ang sinabi ni Tatang, walang kapatid, walang anak, walang kamag-anak, walang asawa. Paano pa kaya? Ang mga sinasabing leaders, o sino-sino pa dyan, kaya nga nakakahiya at nakakalungkot. This is na time na pag sana bigyan nyo ng tamang pagkakataon o oras, pag-isipan natin lahat kung ano ba ang programa ng Divino Gobyerno. Yeah, it is a humanitarian. It is a humanitarian for the sake of humanity of the entire global earth. But the question is that, are we worthy enough to receive those blessings? Are we worthy enough? Or are we example? Are we a leaders to serve the people? Or for our own personal interests? Or for the sake of our family? Or our agenda? Pag-isipan nating mabuti yan dahil marami pa rin ang ganyang pag-uugali. Pasensya na. Even though I'm not feeling well, I'm doing this just to awaken you. We are running out of time. But transformation, pwede ba? Sana sa mga nahuhuling mga araw before the final shutdown, isipin natin ang kapakanan ng bawat isa. Ipagdasal natin ang sarili natin kung kaya ba natin o tayo ba'y karapat-dapat sa mga obligasyon, responsibilidad. It is not only for fame, dahil obligasyon po, responsibility ang pinag-uusapan dito. It is not for our convenience na tawagin tayong kung ano, sultana, kung ano-ano pa dyan, or leaders tayo, or prinsesa, o ano pa dyan. We must have a heart to serve the people. That is the truth that we must have to know. Kailangan natin magbago. Natin. I'm not pointing kung sino. Tayong lahat kailangan nating magbago. Kahit mahirap, gawin natin. Dahil nasa dulo na tayo. Kaya nakikiusap ako. Magtulungan. Magkaisa. Ang hindi maniwala, hayaan nyo na. It is not our problem. Because that is biblical. Many are called but few are chosen. Many are called but few are chosen. Kaya pakiusap. Hindi sana tayo pakampante. Dahil lahat tayo tinitingnan. Lahat-lahat ngayon inuulit, inaayos ang lahat. Kahit napakahirap gawin, kumbaga nakakapagod dahil nga it's a messy from pilutan, lahat-lahat na dato, puga, lahat until sa ngayon ng mga records. Napakaraming iniwan. Hindi lang obligasyon, problema, kasiraan para sa mission. Kaya, mga kapatid, huwag kayong mawalan ng pag-asa. We are doing this. As I said, kahit masama ang pakiramdam ko, we are doing this. We are fulfilling our mission. Kaya nga, kung na-mention natin ang ating mahal na Rina, mahal na hari, pati ang ating presidente, kung gaano sila kahirap, naway maging tularan natin sila. Kaya nga, kahit mahirap, ginagawa natin. We are not doing for our own sake. Dahil kung tutuusin, hindi namin to ginusto. But it is our calling to serve. Kaya Tatang, maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga pangaral mo. Your words is enough para mabuhayan at magiging matatag. Kaya nga, we are doing this hindi para sa atin or sa amin, para sa lahat po na may matauhan ang bawat isa, dahil marami ang hindi nakakaunawa. Nakakalungkot. Yun ang nakakalungkot. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Mula sa RCI, SIC, United Nations, pati Europas. Ngayon, may raft tayo. Inaayos namin lahat yan. Lahat inaayos natin. All the records. Para walang maiwan. At nawa, magtulungan ang bawat isa. At ang lahat ng mga gumagamit lang sa pangalan ng ating mahal na Rina, mahal na hari, lalong-lalo na ang programa para sa kanilang sariling kapakanan, para magkapera, tantanan nyo na. Tantanan nyo na.
We can trace everything. Leaders, akala nyo, we are doing silently. We are digging up everything. That's the mere truth. Kasi nga, shutdown is imminent. At bakit natin kailangan mag-shutdown? Dahil nga ayusin ang lahat. Hindi ito pananakot. Mga paalala para tayong lahat magkakasama hanggang dulo. Ayaw ng ating mahal na Rina, ayaw ng ating mahal na Pangulo na iwanan ang bawat isa. Pero sasalain at sasalain ng bawat isa. Kaya nga, if I speak straightforward, just to wake you up, marami tayong kakulangan. Marami tayong kakulangan. Ayusin natin para ma-implementar na. Dahil marami ang naghihirap. So, hindi na ako magtatagal. Maraming salamat at nawa maintindihan ng bawat isa sa puso, isip at gawa. Ang pagbabago, ang pagtulong, ang pagserbisyo sa kapwa. Hindi para sa ating sarili. Leaders, you must have to know. You are not the leaders tuko na nasa taas, kundi we are leaders to serve the people. This is not the we so-called a political government. Yung nakasanayan na kung sino yung mataas na posisyon, sila yung nasusunod, sila yung pinagsisilbihan. Hindi. Kung nakita nyo, even Queen, she even served. Hindi niya inisip ang kanyang sariling pansarili lamang. Ganon din si Apo Lakay. Kahit hirap na hirap, iniisip ang kapakanan ng lahat. They are the leaders by example. At nawa yan ang maintindihan natin na hindi porkit leaders ka na dyan, sultan or sultana, or prinsesa kung ano dyan na tinawag ka na, or general ay dyan ka na. You must have a heart to serve the people. You must have a humble heart to accept what is truth. You must be a leader by example. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan sa susunod. Thank you so much and God bless.